former this, former that, former this, former vice president, former governors, former ministers, all former this, former that, and all taking Nigeria to former.
All these former president, former governor, former senator, former vice president, former gbogbo, former gba, former gbi, we don tire for them. The truth of the matter say they no get where they carry us dey go. They no get where they take Nigeria. Wetin be yours be our plan be e just to take Nigeria, make they carry Nigeria go fall for inside one big ocean. Na wetin dem dey plan. They don really mean well for we the Nigerians. Anywhere be say we be giant of Africa before, where anywhere wey dem measure us now, measure our name now, dem no dey even reason na whether people dey there, whether person dey there. Now, because of the leaders of of Nigeria, wherever you measure Nigeria, they go just dey look us as if say we be nothing. It's just the simple truth. We are really tired of those people. We are really, really, really tired. We need somebody better to take Nigeria to the next level. Let me just leave you guys to listen to this video.
The same people who I watched as a child, I heard their name on TV, read them in the news, are the same people who are ruling us, who still want to rule us. You believe that having Asiwaju as president of Nigeria today, and anybody want to take over from Asiwaju today, it should be still a bunch of old people who destroyed our country? They have nothing to offer, Shehu. We're living in a new age, in a new world. These guys have nothing. They can't even understand the language their kids speak. 70% of the population are under 30 years old, Shehu. And you think it's this bunch of old people who have something to offer them? You think that the myriad issues we face as a people will be solved by these people? When they held office, Shehu, what did they do? What did they do to solve our problem that they want to solve today? I saw a lot of those people there were former ministers in the last administration, 8 years of President Buhari. Where did Buhari take this country to? 8 years ago, 8 years they were ruling this country. And today they come and say they are trying to salvage this country, save this country from what? From themselves and from their past misdeeds. Let's get real. I weep for Nigeria. I weep for the use of this country. And the worst thing is that a lot of our population, they are so cynical. They no longer believe in themselves. For anybody to think that these people have what it takes to take Nigeria forward, I weep for Nigeria. It's a shame.
Why are you angry? Because on one hand, you say they did not do the right thing by coming in the manner in which they came into your party. On the other hand, you are angry on the kind of people. Is it the kind of people that they are, or the manner in which they are taking over? What is your grievance, right?
The question is all related, Shehu. The manner in which they came through the back door shows you who they are. They are backdoor people.
They came through the back door?
They came in through the back door.
There was an handover by Mr. Rafonwosu.
Shemu, I've been here several times on the issue of Rafonwosu. Rafonwosu tenure lapsed on the 21st of August 2022. Since then, we have approached INEC several times. Several letters written trying to have a special convention so we can move our party forward. INEC has not done the needful. In the last few months, there was alternative dispute resolution where they said, saying, try and resolve the issues within the party so that this party can move forward. Unbeknownst to the state chairman of the party, they did not understand that they were trying to get their signature so that they could sell the party. The state chairman are here in town now protesting. You saw the former PRO of the party. You are seeing state women leaders, state secretaries, youth leaders across the party who all they are seeing is in the news today. They never knew that this was going on within the party. And then you see Rafonwosu coming to say that everybody, all structures across the country have resigned. Where are their signatures? How did they resign? Shehu, this speaks to who these people are, never doing anything right, and never. That's how they.
You were just a presidential candidate. You are not privy to the day-to-day administration of the party. Are you aware of what Rafonwosu have done up until now? Because this conversation has been going on for months.
I will tell you this, Shehu. Sometime late last year, I was approached by some friends and different people talking about the coalition. And eventually, they managed to get me into one meeting with some arrowheads of the coalition. And I had just two questions. One, if you seek to have a coalition against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, are you going to agree to have a Southerner lead this coalition so that 8 years of a Southern leadership is not truncated? And the answer was, we want to take our power back. So essentially what you're saying to me, as a Southerner from Delta State, from Onitsha, from a local government area, is that you're telling me that as a Nigerian, I am not worthy, I'm not deserving to hold power and to hold office in this country. That power belongs to just a segment of this country. That anytime a Southerner holds office in this country, we must do something to truncate that leadership. That was a very demeaning and insulting statement, Shehu. And to think about that, in fact, in that room, that the people who were in that room were people who were part of the past administration who took Nigeria to its knees where we are today, Shehu, to the brink of collapse. What do you want me to say, Shehu? That because I'm desperate for power, I should say, okay, you know what? They want to remove Bola Ahmed Tinubu, power at all costs. Maybe they'll give me some position, and I should agree to something I know that is morally wrong, that's against everything I believe. Shehu, their generation stand for only two things: religion, region. That's all they stand for. We were born into it. So should we transmit this thing to our children so that we never speak to a country about meritocracy anymore? Is that who we should continue being in this country? A people who don't care about merit or anything. We should continue being divided along tribal or religious lines in this country. Is that who we are, Shehu? It's not about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's not about ADC. It's about the future of this country. And we don't need these people. We can stand rejected, Shehu.
If I ask you, are you privy to the origin of the ADC?
Shehu, I'll tell you this. ADC is a party. When they brought me into this party, I met the then chairman, Ralph Nwosu, and they told me that this party is a party that has ideals, all men being equal before the law, no north, no south, blah, 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 and all the stuff. Shortly after I entered the party, Shehu, people in the party drew my attention to the fact that this man has been the chairman of the party for the past 18 years. No democratic credentials. And how can you say that you want to advance democracy being in a party that has such credentials? I believe that it was something of the past, and that my being in that party, that we could move that party forward. Shehu, but sad to say, immediately after I emerged as the presidential flag bearer of the party, the same thing that they had done to all previous presidential candidates, they did the same thing. They tried to sell my candidacy. They tried to frustrate me from running for office. They started writing to, and they doing press release that I am no longer the presidential candidate of the party because I insisted that I must run for office, Shehu. This is the past of ADC. But Shehu, I tell you this, I met a lot of young Nigerians who had only one ambition. How do we move Nigeria forward? They came into the party in their drove to run for office, only to wake up one day to hear that the party had aligned with other parties and that the party had been sold. And that this party was really not.
What do you mean it has been sold?
That they are in the last election, that they had done some alignments with PDP or with APC, and as such, those people who had paid for forms to run on the platform ADC, they saw their ambition being truncated.
Let me ask you, Mr. Dumebi, are you privy to the relationship of Mr. Ralph Nwosu in the inception of this party and someone like the former VP Atiku Abubakar?
Shehu,
are you privy?
Shehu, I have no knowledge of former VP Atiku Abubakar's interest or his being part of the ADC. But Shehu, I'll tell you this.
That's because when you were not a member of the party,
Shehu,
there were people who formed the party.
Shehu,
and that's why I asked you about the origin of the party.
Shehu, they formed the party. Let me ask you a question. How many Nigerians knew ADC before I entered into the ADC? I entered the ADC, Shehu, in a contest of 19 presidential candidates. I was a fifth in that election. That's why ADC became almost a household name, Shehu. I made that party a household name, Shehu, not because Ralph Nwosu had been chairman of that party for 18 years, doing nothing but selling forms, Shehu. Let's get real about this. I don't know Atiku's role in the ADC, and I don't care about his role in the ADC. What I care about
ADC is the Honorable Leke Abejide's party in Kogi State.
In Kogi State,
and a lot of people know that that's a party that has one House of Reps member.
Exactly,
so
Shehu.
When you say you made it popular, Nigerians will want to wonder how.
Leke won House of Reps out of Kogi State. I ran for the office of president in Nigeria, Shehu. They are two very different things. You can ask Leke his impression of the Ralph Nwosu led leadership of ADC. We need to get real here. It's not about virality of videos. It's about speaking to the conscience of Nigerians and the future of Nigeria. We cannot continue like this in this country. Watch that video. 75% of those people were people above the age of 75. 7% of our youth are under 30. They are suffering. They are poor. They are all former people, former this, former that, who brought us to this point. What are we talking about?
They say they are up to rescue. Would you be joining them?
They need to rescue us from themselves. We don't need rescuing from these people. They need to rescue us from themselves.
They say that there's a problem.
Former Senate president who was Senate president for how many 10 years? Come on, Shehu. What else is he looking for? What else does he need to do? Let's get real about this, Shehu.
They said they know the solution.
They know nothing, Shehu. They know the problems that they created. They have no solution, Shehu. We need new faces. We need fresh ideas. We need fresh ideals in Nigeria.
What about experience?
Shehu, experience of failure? Experience of no leadership?
Mr. Peter Obi
experience of no succession? Shehu Obi was governor for 2 terms, Shehu. He was governor for 2 terms, Shehu. What's Anambra State today? Get real about this, Shehu. I'm not here for platitudes. I'm here to speak to the issue of our future in this country. These people have destroyed our country. We need to get away from these people. You need a coalition in Nigeria. Speak to the youth of Nigeria. Bring them together. Fresh faces, fresh voices, fresh ideals. Not these geriatrics. We don't need them anymore in this country. There's no way they will spin this, Shehu. I watched in the last election, the first outing of the PDP. Nigerians had waited, the party faithful had waited, and they waited for Atiku Abubakar to come and make his speech. And age, that's a man who's ordinarily a smart man. But age was telling. The same way we see age telling the president today. Shehu, please, Shehu, speak to your conscience. For how long do we continue like this with these people?
So how do you assess the present situation of the country? If you have tried, you came a distant 5th the last time. And there are people who say, this platform you have, it could be used to better the lot of Nigerians. We have seen the failures of the past. We want to make Nigeria better for the future. Are you opposed to the tendency or to the ideals or the ideas of
to virus
people
and bacteria
fixing this country?
I'm opposed to virus and bacteria coming into my party. I'm opposed to people coming through the back door. I'm opposed to people who have destroyed Nigeria, say they're trying to fix Nigeria.
How else would they have come?
Shehu, let me tell you this. Anybody who was desirous of joining ADC in a proper manner ought to have known that Nwosu's tenure had lapsed. They ought to have known that we have a neck within the party.
Who is the chairman of the party now?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. ADC has no chairman. ADC is the lacuna, is the vacuum. There's no chairman there.
Have you checked INEC record?
We're talking about Nigeria, where 70% of government websites are non-functional and have obsolete information.
Because the standard to know what is going on in the political party. Just a moment, sir. The registrar and the regulator of every political party is INEC.
Correct.
And even the records of INEC says Ralph Nwosu is the leader of the party. How would you oppose it?
When you can look at that information, you can say that is an outdated information. But tell you what, to make things easy for all Nigerians, right? We shall be communicating with INEC. We shall ask INEC to make its position known concerning the leadership of ADC, so that all Nigerians can be clear. And I tell you this, Shehu, if INEC says that a man who led the party for 18 years, whose tenure lapsed 2 years ago or 3 years ago, is the chairman of the party, I will gracefully bow out of the party and I will cease speaking against this coalition. But I tell you this, Shehu, as things stand now, I and my fellow party members know that Ralph Nwosu is not the chairman of that party, has no business, has no mandate entering any coalition. And this is not a coalition. When you speak about coalition, you speak about coalition of parties. We're talking about individuals who've come into the party, who seek membership of the party. And there's nothing wrong. I mean, a party is free for all. Anybody can come into a party. There's nothing absolutely wrong. But the constitution of my party states clearly that for you to hold any office in that party, you have to be a member of that party for 2 years. There's been no convention to amend the constitution, no special convention to amend the constitution. How are these people? How they come and say, oh, well, I'm acting I'm interim chairman, I'm interim secretary, and Maraponsu announces that across board, all arms of the party, everyone has resigned. Shehu, that's just a fraudulent statement.
But there are members of your party, leaders actually, in wards, local government, and the state, that are now supporting the David Mark-led interim leadership.
Shehu, please speak to facts of what
it's been reported in the news.
What you see being reported when it said that in a state, in Kebbi State, that the chairman there said that they are aligned and the structure is intact. The same chairman there said the structure is intact, but we heard Musu saying that all structures have been dissolved. What do we believe?
What do you want to do now, Mr. Ademebi?
What I'm saying today is this, that yes, in Nigeria, we have things going wrong in Nigeria. We have Herculean problems before us in Nigeria. And to solve these challenges, Shehu, we have two options before us. One is to say we are going to be held captive for the rest of our lives, or two is to say, you know what, we need fresh ideas, young blood, fresh people to come in and try and start salvaging this problem. But Shehu, and I will say this, Shehu, I am not a slave to any part of Nigeria. I heard David Mark say earlier today that this is a contest, this is an issue, a fight between the North and South. Sorry, David Mark, that's time, that game is up. Nobody's falling for that playbook anymore. Nigerians as a people now are united. We can never let you do divide and rule anymore. Suffering has no color, has no tribe, has no religion. Poverty has no tribe, poverty has no religion, Shehu. What we go through as Nigerians, it does not see tribe, religion, does not see north or south. Nigerians are united in their suffering, Shehu. There's no tribe, there's no religion there. David Mark and his ilk must understand that they've goofed there. They cannot bring this into the next elections. And ADC is a party that does not see tribe or religion. We see all Nigerians as equal before the flag, before our constitution.
Have you been reached by the powers that be?
When you say powers, what powers that be? You have all powers that be, considering the influence you have in Nigeria over the media and over Nigerians. I hope you know that you are one of the powers that be.
No, I'm asking you about the political powers that be, the ruling party. Because that's the word on the street. That the only reason why you're agitating is because you are in bed with the ruling party.
You don't need to end that question. I will tell you that question is demeaning and an insult. Anybody that knows my antecedents, right from student unionism, knows that there's absolutely nothing joining me with government of the day. I speak boldly for Nigerians. I speak for my conscience. I have 8 children, Shehu, who need to have a stake in this country, Shehu. They are the people I fight for. I fight for the common man I encounter every day. I'm not talking about these people who have no 9 to 5, who stay in their houses and watch channels and watch TVC and watch Arise TV and all they do is plan how to capture power. I'm talking about real life Nigerians that you encounter every day because you have a 9 to 5 job. I'm talking about their issues. They don't know their issues.
Do you have alternatives?
Do we have alternatives? Do I alternatives in terms of what?
If you're saying that whatever they are doing now is not right, what would be your alternative?
Let me tell you what the alternative is. If we are truly desirous of solving our problems as a nation, we must stop yielding our platforms to these people. We must call them out for who they are. We know their antecedents, we know where they are coming from, we know the state of Nigeria today. Shehu, these guys have done us a disservice. We must not sugarcoat it. We must not do the right thing.
Do you have the ambition to run for president?
Shehu, tell you something. Once that bug bites you to do something about your country, to solve the problems of your country, it's not something that you give up like that.
So you are pained that you would have run again on the platform as ADC. Now that chance has been...
No, absolutely not.
Has been crushed.
Tell you something. You know what? Let them come in through the front door. I relish a contest. I relish primaries with them. Let them come in through the front door. I relish going primaries with them. I relish selling my ideas to Nigerians, side by side them. In the last election, Shehu, you saw what happened. They refused categorically, all of them, to stay on the same dice, the same platform with me, to have a debate. But I relish the opportunity. They want to contest for the ticket of my party. Come in through the front door. I'll welcome you. Let us face the primaries. Let's tell Nigerians, tell us your solutions for the myriad problems we have as a people.
But
tell us the role you play.
You might be a drowned voice. In all of this, if you're having your voice, if you're having your voice heard, but your way is not being yielded to, what would you do?
Shehu, let me tell you this. Before I came here today, after my press conference today, the number of people who reached me, the number of my party, I can show you messages telling me thank you, God bless you, for speaking for us. On Facebook, I see people speaking out on Twitter, asking what these old men are looking for. The number of people who reached me, Sheung, it's made my job well worth it. I must never yield to the temptation of saying that I am unpopular in voicing a popular position or a moral position.
Would you be going to the court?
Sheung, tell you what, all options are on the table. If INEC does not do what is right, what's tenable, the court remains our only option.
Mr. Dumedi Kachiko, the presidential candidate of the ADC in the 2023 election, thank you so much for your time tonight and for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me, Sheung.
I wish you the very best. We take a break, everyone, but when we come back, we will be hearing from the spokesperson of the coalition group, former Minister of Youth, Mr. Bolaji Abdullahi, is going to be next to speak with us on the agenda of the coalition and how they hope to take over as they plan from the Tinubu and APC government in 2027. We'll be right back, everyone. Join us. Everyone. Well, the master of ceremony today at the event where the political heavyweights are now chosen adopted the ADC was Senator Dino Melaye. I wish that we can play the natural sound where we could hear. There seems to be an anthem. That perhaps will now pervade the political scene in the coming days. And it was quite interesting, and that has gone viral, though. But let's speak to what really happened today. The spokesperson of the political coalition movement is a former Minister of Youth, Mr. Bolaji Abdullahi, is live for us here in Abuja. So it's a pleasure having you tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you're not a member of the PDP. You're now a member of the ADC.
No, I left PDP October last year.
So you've been partyless?
Yeah, more or less.
All along?
Yeah.
But now today, officially, all of you have now joined the ADC.
The ADC, yes. The African Democratic.
And I saw Chief John Oyegun. I saw Peter Obi.
Yeah.
I saw
Nasiru El-Rufai.
Former Nasiru El-Rufai, Rotimi Amechi, a long list. I mean, if you look at those who are in the APC today, if you look to your left, everybody that is who is who in Nigeria's politics, largely in the opposition, are in that room today.
That's why it's a coalition. That's why it's a coalition.
But they literally have emptied the PDP into that.
Yeah, I mean, because you see. What happened to PDP is quite unfortunate. You know, one of the strongest parties that Nigeria has ever experienced since 1960 was the People's Democratic Party. But due to a cumulative combination of different factors, internal self-sabotage, and of course the latter-day machinations that we are seeing, the party appeared to have. So it got to a point that majority of the who is who, the real people who have built the party, who have run with the party, felt that this is no longer viable, that this vehicle is no longer viable. You know, I mean, if you look at the coalition today, different people have different reasons for coming into the coalition. I mean, coming from their own party. But what's most important is that we are united to build a formidable opposition party, regardless of which was your party. That's why you see people from APC, you see people from PDP, you see people from SDP, and of course, Labour Party. You know, so at the end of the day, what has happened is that all of us have agreed to come together to form one strong, united opposition party.
Well, there are those who, and I've been seeing the reaction. It looks like a combination or an assemblage of aggrieved and angry and angry politicians from the other political parties.
Well, I'm not angry.
But you left
For one, I'm not. Yeah,
you left the PDP.
It's not because I'm angry. I left.
But you were frustrated by the PDP.
No, I'm not saying I'm frustrated. I don't have any frustration, right? I just felt that I don't like this anymore, right? And there's so many people, right, who can tell you that they have one reason or the other for leaving their party. I mean, you look at Peter Obi, you say, oh, he's frustrated. Amechi is frustrated. Rauf is frustrated. This must be a country of really frustrated people. If you have a room full of this caliber of people, and the only word you can use to describe them is that they are frustrated, aggrieved, that they are aggrieved, then something is terribly wrong somewhere.
But look,
I don't think they are doing this because they are aggrieved. Right?
When I
look around me and I see a Chief John Odige Oyego, an 86-year-old man, right, coming out to be part of this openly, right, and you tell me he's doing that because he's aggrieved? No. You see, the fundamental principle, if PDP had survived, right, if it didn't get to this pass that it is currently, that's between life and death or closer to death than to life, right, this would probably not have happened. If the APC's internal democratic system was functioning the way it was designed to function, right? Because I know, I was part of that this would probably not have happened. But we are confronted with the situation today that if you are not in APC, then you cannot be in any other political party. Because we are gradually tending towards a one-party state where no political opposition party is allowed to survive. Okay, look at what's happening now, right? In the last 18 months, we've been on this issue of coalition, right? I'm sure you've been hearing about ADC for a very long time. It is not yesterday, not last month, not 2 months ago, right? The gentleman you brought here, where is he coming from? Where did he drop from Mars? Is he just hearing that we are going to ADC? Why didn't he come here 3 months ago? Why didn't he come here 4 months ago, right? When we started, the government said, dead on arrival. It's not going to work. Oh, they will fight themselves. It's all about ambition. But before their very eyes, the coalition has happened. Then suddenly, these kind of people are crawling out of their dark corners to start saying, they are taking over. Where were you all along? Over 18 months, right? That we've been having conversation with ADC.
Why the choice of ADC, though?
Okay, I'll tell you.
Why not SDP?
I'll tell you. You see, when we started this, we had a list of
options,
parameters and conditionalities, the kind of party we are looking for. Those who came from APC said, no, when we were forming APC, there was a reason, there were agreed principles that led to the formation of APC. Those principles have been inadvertently betrayed, right? Those coming from PDP said, no, we know what PDP stood for. We know what PDP used to be as a political party, a behemoth of a party, right? A Noah's Ark that contained all kinds of human beings, right? But look at what PDP has become today. Those coming from Labour said, this is where we got it wrong, right? So everybody is saying we're unanimous to say, look, if we are going forward with this, we must have a set of agreed principles. And any party we are engaging with must meet those terms and those conditions that will allow us to reorganize and restructure the party in line with the vision that we have, right? So, and what is that vision? You know, I heard a story that the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, you know, someone said, oh, why was he not in the U.S. for Trump's inauguration? And he said, the ANC had a meeting. Woe betides you that if the ANC has a meeting and you are going anywhere as a party member, not talk of as a president. So we feel embarrassed that we are not able to, you can't point at any political party in reality that you say this is a political party. Perhaps the political parties of the First and Second Republic were even better in terms of the organizational structure, in terms of the discipline. I mean, if you were a UPN governor...
Party supremacy.
Party supremacy. If you were a UPN governor, you know that no matter how incompetent or useless you are, you must pursue free education. Basic minimum, right? So how come we are no longer capable of building this kind of parties anymore?
So you saw, so ADC had all of these criteria?
No. We said that's the kind of party we're trying to build. So we're looking for a party that is amenable to this kind of reform.
Or that is weak enough for you to uplift?
Well, if you call a clay weak because you can mold it into a pot, I agree with you. Right?
So you found it in ADC?
We found a party that is amenable to the kind of vision, the kind of reform that we had in mind. Right? And that is why you see people say, oh, Atiku's coalition. How ridiculous. John Oyegun will be sitting in a coalition, David Mark will be sitting in a coalition. It's nobody's coalition. It's a coalition of people who have agreed that Nigeria is currently at a dangerous stage in our political evolution.
This is not the first time that we've had an Atiku-led coalition.
No, but
you remember the new PDP?
Oh, yeah, I know that.
So it was from the Eagle Square.
It's completely different.
No, just hold on. Yeah. Because when they say Atiku-led, Atiku is a former vice president.
Absolutely.
In that room, there's no former vice president.
Okay, now let me
in that room. It's probably the biggest and most senior political figure in that room. So saying Atiku-led for the sake of press coverage sounds okay.
I mean, if you are looking for a label,
yeah,
but be careful what your label implies.
Because
right?
the impression...
No, if it's just label, you are looking for a convenience.
The impression is that it's going to be a platform where Atiku will become the presidential candidate.
That Atiku has a chance, like any other member of the party, to become the candidate. You see, this is the problem. And this is why I want us to avoid the appellation Atiku. Because when you begin to say Atiku coalition, then you are going back to the same problem that we've had.
But why the choice of David Mark as a chairman?
Yeah, because he's the one that everybody has a universal confidence in. Because we are trying to give every member a confidence that they will be treated equally, they will be treated justifiably. I have attended almost every meeting of this coalition. And I can tell you that the only person that sits at the high table is Senator David Mark. Every other person, including Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, including Peter Obi, and everybody, everybody sit on the floor. When they want to speak, they raise their hands. That is the kind of party we're trying to build. We've done the party of big men before, and look at where it has led us, right? And we say we're not going to do that anymore. Bolaji, I will not be part of a party that is set up to pursue somebody's ambition. I left PDP in October. I have not joined any party. I'm fine. Alhamdulillah.
So, I mean, the interpretation, right, is that oftentimes in party tradition and formation, you look at the region where the leadership is from,
yes,
determines where the opposite side, it determines where the presidential candidate comes from.
Yeah.
So there are those who think that if David Mark is from the northern region of the country, automatically the presidential candidate of this coalition will come from the south. Is that the feeling within the coalition?
The adjective interim means something.
So there will be a NEC, or there will be a convention for an election?
The simple did is Senator David Mark is an interim chairman of ADC. The party has a process. It will get to a point where the party will have a convention to elect substantive officers of the party, right? So, and there will also be convention to, elective convention is not until 2026, right? But some people will have to run the party, right? Until we get to the elective convention. So whoever is the chairman now, or secretary or whatever, is not indicative of where the presidential candidate or any other person will come.
So the main agenda of this coalition is to kick out Bola Tinubu as the president and the APC from prominence in 2027. Is that it?
You know, it will be quite unfortunate if we reduce all this. It's trivial, I'm sorry to say, right? Saying that the coalition is just set up to kick out, but I've seen things like that, like anti-Tinubu coalition.
APC come out for ADC don't come.
I mean, of course, if you have a sitting government and you are in opposition, what do you want to do? You want to win election, right? If you win the election, the implication is that the current government is no longer there. But what I'm saying is that this goes beyond all that. Look, tell me which Nigerian today is not embarrassed that we are gradually becoming a one-party state, right? It is lucrative. It is convenient to run into the ruling party. But some of us say, no, we won't be part of this conspiracy against Nigeria's democracy. Because I'm not saying anybody that wants to join APC is free to join APC, right? But what I'm saying is that some people will have to give Nigeria options. They have to give Nigeria alternative. You remember during regime of Abacha, when all political parties, except maybe one, woke up one day and said they adopted Abacha as their presidential candidate. That is where we are heading. That is where we are heading. Because when you destabilize the Labour Party and it is not in a position to produce a presidential candidate because of internal crisis, you destabilize NNDP, you destabilize PDP, and these parties are not in a position to. So in the end, you find that by the time we arrive 2027, there will be only one man able to run election. God forbid. Nigeria is a country of 240 million. This is one of the greatest countries on earth. God forbid that we get to that state. But the people who are trying to push Nigeria down this sorry path, they don't know what they are playing with. They don't know what they are playing with.
But the question here is, why does it look like you and your colleagues are coming through into the ADC from the back door? At least that's how Dumebi Kachikwu described it.
I don't know where the back door is or where the front door is. I came into ADC. Maybe if you ask him to show you where the back door is. I don't know what he means by...
Aside from Nwosu, who are the other ADC party leaders that were there today?
Man, you just showed the clip yourself now. The National Secretary was there. The chairman of BOT was there. All the NEC members were there. Even my own party, the ADC people from Kwara State were there. So who's back there? You see, we are also...
You watched and you listened to Mr. Kachikwu, who flew the flag of the party in 2023. You don't think he has genuine grievance about the manner in which things have gone?
I don't know I don't know what his grievances are. If I understand his grievances, his private can be addressed. And if he's aggrieved, he has the right to express.
So the process by which the David Mark now led ADC coalition taking over the party is unjust and is illegal.
I asked you a question earlier. We are on solid legal grounds on this matter. We've been on this for 18 months, right? And we know a day like this will come.
So you're prepared for...
Oh, that was why because you asked me a question earlier, why do you settle for ADC? We know a day like this will come. And we are here now.
Legally.
We are fine, right? But anyone that wants to commit illegality does not respect the law. We have to give room for that, but we are ready, right? The most important thing I'm saying is that where is this gentleman all this while? You see people more like him. You see people like him. More of them will start crawling out of their dark corners now. You know, speaking like this is very lucrative. I'm sorry.
So another issue he raised, Mr. Abdullahi, is the fact that there are former PDP, former governors, former minister, even you, former minister,
yes.
Those who have served this country, and we are still where we are today. Why should Nigerians listen to the coalition that is made up of former that, former this, those who have attempted and experimented with Nigeria, and yet Nigeria is at this stage? The big question that he asked is, why should we listen to you in the coalition?
Okay. I mean, this is a very interesting question, right? One thing we should also ask, which I'm going to ask you, that's what is called the political class. Politics is played by politicians, right? You're not going to go and bring someone, a farmer, a business, a banker or something. Politics is played by politicians, right? And politicians are in their respective parties, right, to contest election. And as a result, they form governments at one point or the other. Or you say they have failed at one point or the other, and I'm not debating that with you based on what judgments or what parameters you are using, right? And I agree with you to a very reasonable extent that a lot of things had gone wrong over the past. But when that happens, then what should we do? What should we do? We'll go to Ghana and bring politicians? Or we'll go and manufacture another set of politicians from Saudi Arabia?
So that's the question, that those who could not be part of this government, by way of them thinking that they've been left out, are angry because all they know as being government.
No.
And now they are playing politics of opposition because they feel sidetracked or sidelined.
No, I think you are wrong. I mean,
Those are some of the
he's wrong. I listened to him and I tried to Google him. I couldn't see much. I don't know what he has done before.
He ran for election.
I mean, yeah, that's the only thing I saw about him. I Googled him. I couldn't see anything I could hold on to. I saw his age. I'm only like 6 months older than him. So why is he here forming youth? I'm 56, right? And I'm a professional. I'm a journalist. I was deputy editor of these day newspapers. I had a job. I'm a professional, right? So why, and I can count people in that place who we can see that if you Google their name, something will come up. I Googled his name, I couldn't see anything. And he's talking, oh, these people, they're in Nigeria. But what I'm saying is this. If politicians have done things in the past and they have failed, right? Unfortunately, we can only go back to politicians. And we can only invite Nigerians. Right? But what we are saying to ourselves is this. Even the most consummate, what you need to do is to build a system that ensures that everybody complies. Now, if you build a system that ensures that everybody plays by the rule, if you build a political party that is capable of disciplining its own members, right? There was no time in this country where you not have politicians misbehaving one way or the other. But when political parties are not able to discipline their own representatives, let me tell you what's happening now. An individual gets elected on the platform of a political party. Maybe he becomes a governor on the platform of a political party. Then he funds the party. Then he becomes the master of everything. Then the party loses the capacity to discipline that individual because he has now become a governor. Whereas the party is the mother of the governor. The party is the mother of the president. But what we have seen in recent years is that the reverse is the case, right? The parties are at the mercy of their own elected officials, right? And what we are saying is that can we try to give ourselves a chance? Can we try to build a party?
Can Nigerians believe you people?
You know, when people shake hands, that's the logo of our party. When people shake hands, they have an agreement, right? We say we want to try to give Nigeria an alternative. God forbid we arrive at 2027 and there's no alternative. That is one. Two, we want to build a political party that would last every one of us. Call it, maybe you can even say, if you want to be cynical, you can say we are trying to atone. No problem. But we say we are trying to be a party of rules. And if you listen to our chairman today, he said a party where everyone will be equal, where members will be supreme, right? That is why some of us are there, right?
So we should jettison the renewed hope agenda and do what? We should renew and another hope.
Well, I don't know if you want to what you are doing with hope. We've not said hope. Hope is not a
because hope is a standard gauge of political engagement.
But look at where the hope has led you now. In 2 years, hope has become hopelessness. You know, I mean, look at the parameters. Right. Look at the parameters. Do you know how people are dying every day in this country because people are entering their house and shooting them, and government is doing merry like Christmas?
Bolaji Abdullahi, former minister and the spokesperson of the coalition group in the ADC. Thanks so much indeed for your time. I appreciate it. For the best of Nigerians, we're hoping that all things will be good. That's our show for tonight, everyone. And thanks for watching. I'm Sean Okemale. God bless Nigeria.